Hello everybody and welcome to a rare double video day. And there's a reason for this. Obviously I did a video earlier today, but I got an email from a PR company asking me if I could do a reaction video for a band called Calamity, who are releasing their new single today from their up and coming album. And the email just simply said, would you mind doing a reaction video for this band? Their single's coming out on the 15th, or coming out today, should I say, and, would be most greatly appreciative. So, here I am. So, obviously, not heard of the band before, so had tried to find out as much as I could about them. And I found out that Calamity are a thrash metal band from Caguas, Puerto Rico. I'll probably pronounce that horribly wrong. Now, according to Encyclopedia Metalum, and I'm putting that in there because the other day I read something from Encyclopedia Metalum about a band I did a reaction to, and apparently it was completely wrong. So according to Encyclopedia Metalum, the band originally started in 2010 under the name Silent Screams, but then changed its name in 2011 to Hush, and then in 2013 once again changed its name to Calamity, as it is now. And to date they have released one EP, one full-length album and 2 singles. However, they do have a new album called Guerreros coming out in May this year, and the track I'm going to be reacting to is actually off this up-and-coming album. And this track is actually the second single off this album as well. But this is actually the first song that they've created, that they've written, which is fully written in Spanish. This, other songs from theirs, as I understand it, may have had like small bits of Spanish in them, but this is the first fully Spanish written song that there is. And I've actually got a quote here which says, "We've always wanted to sing in Spanish, our native language, and now with Guerreros," which is the name of the track I'm reacted to, and I've probably butchered the pronunciation there, it's probably Guerreros, we found the right way to do it. This song means a lot to us because it's about the daily struggles we all face in Puerto Rico, our homeland. So there you go. So that also gives a bit of an insight into what the song is about. The actual name of the track, that Guerreros, as I understand it, means warriors. So the song is called Warriors, and the song itself is about the daily struggles people face in Puerto Rico. So, we've got a bit of an insight into what the song is about there. It's very interesting, and like I said, I've never heard of the band before, I've never heard any of their music before, so I'm curious to see what this is going to be like. Now, I've been waffling on for 3.5 minutes, so I think we'll just go straight to the song. He says straight to the song after nearly 3.5 minutes, and we'll see what happens. So here we go. Guerreros by Calamity. Well, it's pretty good, this is. Thrash metal is another one of those sort of hit and miss sort of genres of music with me. I like things like Megadeth, I do like Metallica, but then there's bands like Slayer, which I'm not very fond of, and one could argue that they're speed metal, not thrash. But, it's a sort of hit and miss for me. And this one's actually quite good. It's got a nice sort of structure behind it. It's got a good riff, and the tones of the guitar sound great. It's really quite good. Excuse me. Now, as the song itself goes, as we know, they're talking about the daily struggles in Puerto Rico. It goes, even if the sky falls, I live and never die. The whole world knows about it, that here we do not fall. Beg the life that I won't let us go crazy. If the good ones are more, we will never miss warriors on the street. And I got this translation directly from the band, so I actually messaged them specifically asking them if they could get me some translated lyrics, because I did find the original lyrics and tried to translate them myself, and my god, it came out as a hideous mess that made absolutely no sense. And it carries on, always shooting, looking forward, they will endure, here we never fall. And even though we walk in darkness, we're not afraid, all of us are warriors. So, they're basically saying, where they are at the moment, there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of aggression, but no matter what they go through, they are going to stand tall, they are going to be proud of where they're from, and, they are going to be warriors. They're going to be stoic, stand tall, and be like, no, this is our land. We are not going to go easy. It's quite a good meaning to a song, I have to say. There have been a few tracks I've listened to in the past where they've certain bands have gone on about the places that they live and how important it is to them. So, it's a fairly common theme, and especially in places like Puerto Rico and some of the other places I've covered, because I've covered many, many countries. These sort of things are important to them, because I know I believe Sepultura at some point did a similar sort of song where they were talking about how proud they were of where they lived and how, all of this bad stuff kept happening around them, but they were going to stand tall, and, they weren't going to let the, the governments and all this sort of thing get them down and overthrow them and tell them what they can and cannot do. So, it's a fairly consistent theme, apparently. Let's carry on, see where it goes.
Con el viento, con la lluvia y el trueno, nos aguantó el orgullo, nos amarró lo bueno, de trago en trago amargo, de sol a sol de fuego, los míos van guerreando, por eso voy con ellos. Regale a la vida que no nos deje enloquecer. Si los buenos somos más, nunca faltarán guerreros en la calle. Siempre tiro para Solo da para en todas direcciones, ya sea de la calle o sea del sistema. No es tierra de nadie porque no hay cojones, aquí no hay cojones. Pa' bregar bien aquí no hay cojones, pa' buscarse la vida no hay cojones, pa' darse en la calle y clavarse a la gente, pa' eso cabrón si hay cojones. Regale a la vida que no nos deje enloquecer, y los buenos somos más, nunca faltarán. Regale a la vida que no nos deje enloquecer, y los buenos somos más, nunca faltarán. Guerreros en la calle, siempre tiro para adelante, que se aguanten. Aquí nunca nos caemos y aunque andemos en tiniebla, no bebemos. Aquí todos somos guerreros. Open your eyes, open your eyes, open your eyes. Baby, let my love run, yeah. Yeah, it's been a long time, 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 been a long time.
Well, there you go. That was Guerreros by Calamity. It's a very impassioned song. You can tell just by the way that they perform it. You know, they think it's a really important subject for them. It's something that really, really matters. And it's a brilliantly done song as well. It's very, very catchy. There's something about it. It's really, really, really catchy. And, they mix it up as well, which is great. They don't just keep it consistent all the way through, because there was that sort of almost like a bit of a breakdown where he started singing really, really fast. The music all changed. It was brilliantly done. The song actually carried on. We grew up with the wind, and with the rain and thunder, we endured our pride. The good things always grabbed us. From bitter sour drinks, from sun to sun of fire, my warriors are fighting, that's why I go with them. Everyone who lives here for me is a warrior, although they don't want war. I mean, those last couple of lines are really quite powerful. It says that we grew up with the wind, the rain and the thunder, we endured our pride, good things always grabbed us. So it's like they grew up in bad situations, horrible situations. But, they stood proud and they were like, we will get through this. And, good things happened because they stood tall, they stood proud and pushed through. And like I said, there's those last couple of lines there. Everyone who lives here for me is a warrior, although they don't want war. So it's like everybody around me, all of the people of Puerto Rico are warriors because they are fighting back against whatever is oppressing them, whether it's, other armies or if it's the government or whatever, they are fighting back, they are having to fight back. They don't want to have to fight. They want to be able to live a nice, happy life. They don't want to fight back, but they're having to in order to live a decent life. And it carries on. In my country, the ones that play the rules get stomped by the ones that cheated through. Every one of them is a cheater. That's why nobody trusts them. Not only there's criminals on the street, the white-collar thieves are criminal indeed. So, in my country, the ones that play by the rules get stomped. So, the people who follow the rules, the people who abide by the law, are the ones getting trampled underfoot. Whereas thieves and stuff like that, they're managing to get away with it somehow. And it says that every single one of them is a cheater. That's why no one trusts them. Not only there's criminals on the streets, the white-collar thieves are criminals indeed. Now, I can only assume white-collar thieves means people like the governments and like big conglomerate businesses and stuff like that. Like people in power. They're abusing their power to get what they want. Kind of like certain other places in the world. I won't name any because last time I did, I got a whole tirade of people getting mad at me. But, you know, they are like doing everything to make them and their friends richer, but at the same time trying to make the poor poorer. You know, they're cutting funding to like medical aid. They're cutting funding to like helping basically anything that the lower classes need to get by, like cutting food banks or cutting, you know, benefits and stuff like that for people that really, really need it, just so that these people in power can make more and more money. And the way they've put it there, they are thieves, which they are. They're criminals. They're getting away with all of this rubbish because, you know, because they have all the power, they think they can do whatever they want. They don't care about the lower classes. So long as they're happy and they're making more money, that's all that's important. And it carries on. That's why in PR you live the day dodging the bullets from all directions. Now PR, I'm assuming, means Puerto Rico. Whether it's the streets or the system, this is nobody's land because they don't have the guts. So yeah, that's why in Puerto Rico you live the day dodging the bullets of all directions. So, you know, you've got to be careful. You've got to like try and avoid all these conflicts as best you can, but at the same time standing up to them. And it says whether it's the streets or the system. So, you know, you're saying there's criminals on the street, as there is in any country, but there's also the government and the people in power, like the high-powered businesses, you know. So he's saying, you know, there's crime in all directions, whether you can see it or not, it's still there. And this is nobody's land because they don't have the guts. You know, basically all these people, like the politicians, they're just using the land for what they want, but it doesn't belong to them. They don't have the passion for the country. They don't care about the country. They just need somewhere where they can exploit. So it says, there are no guts here. To take the easy way out, we have the guts. To play by the book, we have none. But to kill yourself in the street and kick everyone in the shins, bastard for that, we have guts. So, now that bit I'm a little confused about. You know, to take the easy way out, we have the guts. That, you know, I'm not sure about that bit, you know, because to take the easy way out, we have the guts. You know, it's like, that sounds like the easy way out is to, like, go along with the criminals and to kill yourself. You know, that bit doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I'm just reading it completely wrong. To play by the rook, we have none. So they don't have the guts to play by the rules, to follow the laws. And it says, but to kill yourself in the street and kick everyone else in the shins, bastard for that, we have the guts. So, you know, it's an interesting song, and like I said, I love listening to foreign music, just because, I mean, it always sounds really interesting. You know, you listen to things like Rammstein, you listen to things like Dimmu Borgir when they sang in Norwegian, you listen to like Meadows End when they did a track in Swedish, you know. It's always interesting. I mean, I always like to have the English lyrics so that I can understand what the song's about. But it's not something that I need, because like I listen to bands like Duran Gray, who sing mostly in Japanese, but have also sung in Russian and German and other such languages. I don't know what the hell they're saying, but I still really enjoy their music. And again, here, even if I hadn't had the English translation of the lyrics, I would have enjoyed the song, because there was just something about it. There was something to the rhythm of it, the way that the song, you know, played out, that was really catchy. It was really energetic. It was a really good, fun piece of music. I mean, I say fun as in like I enjoyed it, rather than the actual song itself was fun, because, you know, it's quite a not necessarily depressing meaning behind the song, but it's a very powerful one, and one that needs to be addressed, you know, because all these people are suffering under tyranny of government and stuff like that, you know, whilst other countries are, well, some of them are sitting pretty of sorts, you know. whereas there's this power struggle, going on in other parts of the world, and it's unfair that governments can get away with doing this sort of thing. So it's a good song, and very good meaning behind it as well. Excuse me. Very enjoyable. I shall have to listen to some of their other stuff, some of the older stuff, or maybe even some of the newer stuff when more of the stuff from their album comes out. And it's good as well, the fact that they've managed to talk so passionately about their home country, and they've done it in their home language, because like I said at the beginning, they're always looking for a chance to sing a song entirely in their native language, and this seems to be the perfect song to do it, talking about pride in their country, talking about how they are standing up against the oppression of governments and stuff like that. It was the perfect song to do that with. So, very, very good. Very, very good. But I'm going to leave that as it is. If anybody else would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so by all means. You can drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me on Facebook or Instagram. If you do suggest a track, though, it may take a while for me to get around to recording it, because I get suggested dozens of tracks every single day, and I do write down every single track that gets suggested to me. But it will take me a while to get around to it. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. They are a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, specifically those aimed at people of the alternative subculture, whether it be wearing alternative clothing or listening to alternative music. Because hate crimes these days get fairly publicised. Most hate crimes get well publicised. Racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, these things get mentioned almost on a daily basis, whether it be on social media or on TV, etc. These things get mentioned all the time, and people recognise them as a bad thing. I mean, it still carries on, but not to the degree that it used to, although certain people in government are trying to push it back that way. I'm not going to name any names. But other forms of hate crimes, such as what people of the alternative subculture face, like getting physically and verbally abused because of the choice of clothing or choice of music that they have. It's something I can't validate in my brain. I cannot make sense of how people come to the conclusion that it's an okay thing to do. It's like, that person listens to a different kind of music to me, so I am going to physically attack them. I'm going to verbally attack them. I'm going to call them names. I'm going to mock them. I'm going to beat 10 bales out of them. How does that make any logical sense? What music they listen to in their own home doesn't affect them in any way. If they were walking down the street with a speaker in their hand, shoving it in the faces of the general public, then I could understand people getting annoyed, at the music that they listen to. But it doesn't happen. They're just sort of sitting at home, chilling out, listening to the kind of music that they really enjoy. And, when they go out, they might still be listening to it, but they'll be wearing headphones. But it doesn't affect anybody outside of the person listening to the music. So why how do these people justify attacking them? It makes no sense. It's the same with clothing, just because they're wearing, I don't even know, just because they're wearing a different type of clothing to you, how does that make it okay to beat them up? How does it make it okay to shout abuse at them? It makes zero sense. And, it's something that needs to be addressed, because it doesn't get recognised enough. And sooner or later, Sophie Lancaster Foundation want to make it so that this is a properly recognised hate crime. I mean, if you know the story of Sophie Lancaster, it is very, very tragic. When the people that committed this heinous crime were tried. It was tried as a hate crime, but it doesn't seem to be generally recognised as a hate crime. You know, it's sickening that this sort of thing keeps going on. You know, just we have enough division in the world as it is. We have enough conflict as it is. We don't need more. We don't need such petty arguments, such petty disagreements. You know, it's pathetic, it's sad, and it needs to stop, because at the end of the day, what does it achieve? Absolutely nothing. You know, I don't go down the street and punch someone in the head because they like chocolate ice cream and I like mint choc chip, you know. Because that's about the same logical level, you know. I'm going to beat you up because you don't like the same music as me. It's basically equal to I'm going to beat you up because you don't like the same flavour ice cream I do. You know, it makes no logical sense. It's stupid. If you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can go over there, find out what they're doing at the moment, and what they're working towards, because they can explain it a darn sight better than I can, because I go off rambling on tangents and stuff like that. If you can support them in any way, even if it's something as simple as one of these Sophie bracelets, which I think are £1 on their store, even that helps greatly, because, you know, every little bit helps. And if we can, any way that we can help put an end to all this hatred, all this intolerance and abuse, you know, if we can do even just a tiny little bit, it makes the biggest difference. So yeah, if you can help in any way, that's fantastic and greatly appreciated. But I'm going to leave that as it is. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.
Guerreros en la calle, siempre tiro.